Haven't seen you guys in a while. Huh?
How many states you
guys,
been in since
oh,
then?
Oh man, I don't even know. I need to go back and do a little. I do know, so I can go back and look at my sheets and find out all the different places I stopped. But 2 states in a day, maybe 3, and getting a chance to see every single one of these guys that you guys will hear about today. It's exciting. So this is kind of the Super Bowl of recruiting right here, and today's a big day. These coaches have done a great job of maintaining relationships with the guys you're going to find out more about today, and building those relationships, and making sure that through this process, we've kept these guys with us, and excited about this class. We've got quite a few guys in it. We'll talk more about that later, but really just hats off to our coaches, and having a couple coaches out and guys making up, for some of those guys that were gone until we were able to fill some of those positions. Just been tremendous. So awesome day. Glad you guys are here. Looking forward to getting more names up on this board and getting this class completely filled, and then being able to talk about all of them, how they fit, what the thought process behind why we took positions or numbers at positions, and how they're going to fit in the future. So with that, open up for questions.
You expecting any surprises today, or anything out there that it could be good or bad?
You always expect something, yeah, but I think, knock on wood, feel like the coaches have done such a good job of staying in constant communication, not just with the players, but the families, the coaches, that we have built relationships that are going to be sustained throughout today. And I think these guys are just genuinely excited about being at Boise State. Certainly there's obviously other competition out there that would want to have the guys that will sign with us today, and don't know if that will end until they actually put pen to paper. But that's how it is. Recruiting, it's competitive, and guys are trying to get good football players, and that's what we have in this class. We have good students, we have good football players, we have great people, and for us, we have coaches, families, people that are involved in these guys' lives that are also a part of this, and I feel like that's where we've really made a strong connection, probably better than we ever have with this recruiting class.
Red, can you talk about Robert Mahone a little bit? What you liked about him, and maybe how you guys found him?
Yeah, just found him kind of combing through our area stuff, and all the way back last spring, had the chance to go watch him practice in the spring, and left out of there very impressed. We were looking for a bigger back. He obviously fits that. He's going to show up here and be 210 plus pounds probably when he gets here. He can run, he can catch, he can do all that stuff, and just build a relationship with him. Coach Harsin already had a relationship with his head coach there at the school from their days in Austin, or Austin area, I guess. But so it was a natural fit, and he had some other opportunities, obviously, but very happy to have him, and expect big things from him in the future.
He's a guy, so you mentioned Chris Ross, who's the head football coach there. He was at Cedar Park when I was at Texas, and Joe Willis, who was Reed's head coach, both those guys were at Cedar Park at the time working together. Chris was the head coach, Joe Willis was the defensive coordinator, and probably 2 guys that every visit I went to Cedar Park, we sat in there for about 2.5 hours and just talked about ball. So there was a great relationship there. They've kind of moved on to Coffeyville and to Prosper. So, having that connection in there as well, along with these 2 players, we knew about it. That's the one thing. And you've got coaches that you trust. They give you information on, hey, I think this is exactly your type of guy. He would fit at Boise State. He's going to do the things that you want to do on the offensive side or defensive side. So, that relationship, and the coaches have done such a great job, I think, with the high school head coaches, which I think are so valuable and important in recruiting. There's a lot more people involved, but your head coaches are the ones that are with those guys every single day. They know about them, they know their work ethic, and to have those type of relationships with them is extremely important. You know, Reed obviously did a great job there. Lee done a great job with Robert and staying in constant communication with he and his mother. And so it was never a one-man show when it comes to how we recruit. You know, there's going to be 3, 4 to 5 of us on each and every guy, and I think that's what we saw this year when a couple coaches left. You know, there's still that connection relationship with the other coaches.
With Bubba, I know that he didn't really announce publicly, kind of put something out there that made people wondering what was going on. But I mean,
Yeah.
what did you like from him, and how confident were you all along, I guess, that today he was going to stick with you today?
Yeah, we were confident about, you know, his commitment. Great kid, and you know, here's a guy that's a longer. If you're talking football, he's a longer, taller guy. He's got a lot of range. We all believe his best football is ahead of him, really, and you know, comes from a very good program. Has been in structure, and so you know, you feel like when he gets here, you know, that discipline structure that you have to be successful. He's got those qualities already, but really just a very likable young man. That's the one thing. He's got a great personality, and really when he came here on his visit, felt like this was a place that he could come here and just really develop himself, and I think knew it right away. So that's what we are most excited about him, and just his upside when it comes to football. He's already good, but what he's capable of doing. And Rid, you can chime in on that one.
Yeah, he's I think as a junior he had 20 touchdowns. We know he's a big play guy. He'd go up and get the ball in the air guy, but he's a great run after the catch guy too. So he has the ability to make things happen once he has the ball in his hands, and that's the thing that stands out. And on top of that, again, just comes from a great program where you know guys are going to show up here and be able to function in our program. When we ask them to do stuff, they're going to be able to be on time and show up and be committed. And I think that's a huge deal. Coach there did a great job with him. It was a big asset to us in the recruiting process. You know, and how certain were we? I think pretty certain for a while now. There's some guys snooping around trying to get in on him, but we felt pretty good that he was coming here all along. So,
Ashley, you come into this late. Obviously, Reed has been committed for a while. What was your approach? Did you go kind of scout these guys and start getting to know them, or what was kind of your approach to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I came in, you know, I basically had to do that. I had to go scout them. I had to go introduce myself to them. I had to build that relationship with him and his family. And, you know, and it was a little easier because I would say, I guess, you know, that's why you never burn bridges is, you know, when you're younger. What happens, I mean, his father and I actually end up going to the same high school, which is really ironic. And you just never know how things, you know, shape out. But he's a little older than I am, but we had something in common there. And he trusted me. We knew some of the other, you know, some other people, and Reed felt comfortable with me as well. The thing about it is, I think Reed really was all in with Boise, and me coming in and him wanting me to be his coach as well, it really solidified it. You know, so we just, you know, you just have to have those relationships and continue to talk to them, and with all the coaches' help as well. You know, just make that connection with them, and you know, we were able to do that.
Just looking at Reed a little bit more, he's a guy who offers from a couple Ivy League schools. Obviously, a smart kid. I mean, how do you see that kind of translate in the way that he plays those smarts?
You know, it translates a lot because you know what, when you got a kid that's smart like that, they're willing to go out there. They're very smart on the football field too. You know, they're willing to go out and do what it takes to be the best. That's how he is academically, and I always see a lot of times when there's a guy that's really smart like that and has the athleticism like he does, they end up being really good football players because you know what, he's not by himself. So he really knows how to do that. He's a really great kid. I mean, he was a 3-year starter in high school, so and the kid works hard. So yeah, that's what we love about him. He's a great kid, great person, great football player. You can't ask for more than that.
How did you guys feel?
He was the guy that, to cut you off there, he was the guy that was here in camp. So we had him here in camp, and so you got a chance to really see literally from me to you and watch a guy compete. It's not just off film. You get to sit there and watch him roll out there, line up against a wide receiver, all right, look at him, get his feet set, and really just that competitiveness come out. And, that's a value. Our eyes, our ears. We say a lot of times when it comes to recruiting and not trying to listen to, the other opinions. And so when you see that, he's very bright. Academics are extremely important to him. And he'll continue to strive for a 4.0, a 3.88, so he can continue his education, on once he's done. That's a vision and goal he has. But as far as being on the field, that's his recess. He does a lot of work, but he gets out there and you can see it. And he loves to play and loves to compete. And especially at that position, he's got that quick turnaround. You're not always going to win that battle. Things happen, but you watch him on tape. He's got a quick turnaround to come right back and be aggressive and fight after you watch him on film and the way he's played.
He was just playing for the U.S. national team in
Yeah.
that game against Canada. How'd you guys feel about that? Did you like to see him out there playing, or were you a little nervous for him out there playing another football game?
No, I think that's great. All these guys ask, it's, should I play in this all-star game? Absolutely. Should I play basketball? For sure. Baseball, go play. It's, that to me is more valuable than specializing, especially as a young person. You're going to specialize once you're here, okay? And the more these guys can go out there and do that, from that experience, he's got 10, 12 new people in his life that he connected with that are going to be going to different schools, maybe here, and what an awesome opportunity, and for those guys. So, no, our guys that play in all-star games, we encourage that. We want them to do those things. We want them to see them compete, and it's just too valuable, the relationships you build. And if you don't do it, you don't get that opportunity.
There was a lot of talk, the last couple of weeks with the running back position, what happened, but I think Robert was kind of a forgotten guy. It seemed like maybe at times because he'd been committed for so long, and everybody wanted to talk about the other running back that he maybe had in this class. Is he a guy? I guess I don't know. Maybe fans feel like he was forgotten, but obviously to you guys, he was a very important piece to this group.
Yeah, come here.
Yep.
Take the seat here.
No,
That's the man right here that asked that. I'll give you my quick take on it. No, I think Robert and some of these guys we had been committed for quite some time, and we had some changes that way too. So it doesn't always stay that way, but he certainly wasn't forgotten by us. He has been a big piece to this puzzle, and moving forward there'll obviously be some more names at that position, but as far as Robert goes, and like Rid said, we set out to find him before we ever knew him. This is what we were looking for in this position, and we think we found the perfect fit from that standpoint. But I'll let Coach Marks kind of answer that a little bit more.
well, shoot, I never forgot about him. I can promise you that. Coach Rid did a great job just evaluating Robert and going down there. And as he talked about before, we're looking for a bigger running back to kind of fill that void that we have in that room, and he definitely fits that. Robert's going to end up being a really, really big dude when it's all said and done. He'll probably be 220 plus when it's by the time his senior year rolls around. So, and he has really big hands. He can catch the football, which is obviously a plus in our offense, and he gets to do so many things, and which helps us continue to be multiple. So, I'm really, really excited about Robert, to be honest with you. So, and obviously I knew we couldn't talk about it before, but I promise you, every day I walked in that room and I saw him on my board, just as that he's committed to us. I feel like we were very lucky.
He's a guy we definitely didn't forget about because he had plenty of people still trying to recruit him, and
No question.
Coach Ross did a really good job of, I think guys in his program that are committed, whether it be to us or somewhere else, if they're committed, and so I think that's probably why you didn't hear nearly as much about him, because Coach Ross did such a good job of making sure he stuck to his word.
How much does that play into it, the high school coaches, once guys commit, and how they handle that process with other schools coming in and wanting to look at guys? How important is it to have a high school coach who does that, who tries to get kids to stick to what they committed to?
I think every school's different, every coach is different. Obviously, we truly appreciate that when a guy does that, but different places are kind of operate